Hey everyone, welcome to the Falesha Raquel Show. Today I am super excited to have Michael Boslovich here, the owner of Sun Casa Group and Sun Casa Realty. Now he is my partner out in Florida. So for all of you that are aiming to become Floridians and get out there, or you're wanting to be a snowbird, or you're wanting to just simply have an investment in order to make some cash flow, which we love here so much at the Falesha Raquel Show, this is your guy for Florida. So welcome to the show. How are you,
I'm
Michael?
great, Felicia. Thank you so much. It's when you reached out, I got so excited. I'm like, if Felicia wants me on her show, that means I must be important.
Oh my, look, they call you boss. I gotta have you on the show, right?
True. You're right.
I love it. So we have done some, deals in the past, and I know there's some awesomeness that's going on right now. You're currently out in Orlando, which I love.
Yeah.
I love Orlando so much. So let's enlighten some of the people, the viewers today, the listeners today. Let them know who you are, what you do,
Sure.
and how you can help Canadians and some people grow their portfolios.
Absolutely. Well, I'm from Toronto. I've been doing real estate in Toronto for a while. I have a team as well. And we created Sun Casa Group because we found that there was a disconnect for Canadians buying real estate across the border. I've been investing in United States, especially in Florida, for over a decade. I've also been licensed in Florida since 2015. So I know Florida very well.
Yeah.
They consider or me the expert of the Florida market, especially helping Canadians secure real estate. So what we did is we created our own ecosystem of professionals and Canadian like-minded people that understand how to help Canadians buy real estate in Florida and doing it the right way because we speak Canadian.
Yeah.
How to set up your corporation, where to get your mortgage, how to do your taxes, everything that's geared to help Canadians save money and make money.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, so it's nothing new to me, but I wanted to share with all of our clients, and it's been working really well. We started Sun Casa Group last year. We opened up Sun Casa Realty this year,
Nice.
and we're helping Canadians. To be honest, every single month we're doing some sort of transaction and helping Canadians secure a little bit of sunshine here in Florida. I go back and forth. We do, these webinars and these podcasts, but we're also here at Boots on the Ground helping the Canadians secure the right opportunity for them because we create the opportunity or we present the opportunity based on the investor's needs.
Yes.
And what they're looking for. So it's not just, hey, I'm a realtor, let's go look at houses. It's more like, hey, Felicia, let's talk about what you need, where you are, what you're looking to do, and then we tailor fit it around you because we have different strategies based on the investor. It's not what we're presenting. It's more like we create a tailored fit package for you, and then we show the opportunities for our investors. So we have Airbnbs that we do, which has been very successful, especially in the Orlando market. Why we chose Orlando, it actually chose us because originally when we had started connecting with Canadians, everybody wanted to be in South Florida. Everybody wants to be in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Sure, it's amazing, but when you start looking at the cost point, it's expensive. You're looking at insurance. It's expensive. A lot of the buildings in the Miami or South Florida area had these new assessments because of what happened, that building that collapsed.
Yeah.
So you have to have all this money in reserve. So now HOA prices go or HOA fees go up.
Yeah.
And then taxes goes up. So Orlando has been such a great market for us because it's still where people can buy a really good property that actually gives them a return on investment and they get quality, meaning that they can buy a house.
So let's talk a little bit more about that because I really love the idea of these pad splits. So can you tell me?
Yeah, I didn't share that yet, but we talked about it earlier. Yeah.
We did. So what is a pad split?
Okay, so pad split is basically taking a property. Let's say we take a single family home, and then we divide it into rooms. So it's like almost like student housing, but for grown-ups. And it's done off a platform like Airbnb type of platform where people book off that. And they book their room. Usually people book minimum a month. And what it does is it offsets a lot of the issues that they have for low income housing. What that means is people need a place to live, but they can't afford to live alone.
Okay, so this is
So,
good for like Canadians that are trying to get to Florida and they don't have enough money right now to really put down on something that's a little bit more expensive. They can, is this like an ownership thing or a rental?
no, so what you're doing essentially is you're buying a home.
Okay.
We can give you, we have three different strategies. Either we partner with you or we acquire a home, we'll do the renovation and then we'll get it set up. And then through that model, it gets rented out and you create an income. We could either sell it to another investor or we do a buy and hold situation.
Right.
Another way we do it is essentially is we give you a turnkey solution, which has been working well for our clients because, not everybody wants to go through all those steps. They're like, look, Michael, I got $50,000, $60,000
Mhm.
and I want something that gives me a return on my investment. And I said, perfect. And what happens is they buy this product that's already producing, that's turnkey for them. They don't have to do anything. They just assume it, meaning they get the mortgage, they buy it, and then they're getting an income coming in immediately. And I'll give you an example. We just did a deal for 180 grand. And it's bringing year to date, it's brought in about $31,000 year to date. So when you do the math, if you're, however you want to look at it, it's still producing, considering what you're paying, what your return on. Look, I'll give you an example. In Toronto, you buy a house for $1.3 million.
Yeah.
Right? What's going to be your rent? $3,200?
I know.
$3,300? Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're buying a house for 180 grand. Let's say 200 grand.
Yeah.
But you're getting $3,000. It's gross. It's not net. You
Right.
still have some expenses to pay. But even if you clear 12 to 1,500 bucks a month, clear in your bulk. Let's be conservative. Let's say $1,000.
Mhm.
Let's be super conservative. $1,000. $1,000 return on $60,000 investment because that's what you're putting down.
Right.
Do the math.
Mhm. Versus what a lot of Canadians are experiencing right now, where because the interest rate hike, a lot of people can't really afford to pay and cover and service their debt every month. So they're forced to either get a tenant, but they're scared to get a tenant because everyone knows the LTB matters in Ontario right now are not
Yeah,
in
there's no such thing.
landlord favor.
Doesn't exist here.
Yeah.
So there's obviously there's an act, there's some sort of protection for people in general. You can't
Right.
just throw people on the street. But if you don't pay, there's a 3-day notice, you go to the court, depending on what county you're in. Let's say it's $500 you fine. You've paid, sorry, not fine, but you pay the court. And then it takes time, within 3 to 6 weeks, your tenant is out.
Mhm.
And not like 6 to 8 months in Canada, and it's done properly. So tenants know here if they don't pay, they don't play, meaning that if they're not paying their rent, then they're going to be out in 30 to 60 days. Like that's just the way it's going to go. There's no, hey, I can sit here as long as I want and basically not pay rent because what's going to happen to me? Nothing.
Mhm.
So that's what makes it attractive. Also, the price points make it attractive.
Yeah.
So think about it like this. We've created a system for Canadians not to stress when they're living in Canada.
Mhm.
So if we are your boots on the ground, we are your partners.
Yeah.
We make life much easier for you.
See, I think a lot of the times Canadians are much more conservative. We can all agree with that.
Definitely.
Right? So in the mindset of a Canadian who is conservative right now, but they're like, you know what? It's getting to that point where I feel like I really, really need an alternative. I really need to do something that I always say, do something you've never done to get something you've never had. And a lot of people right now are on the brink and they're just like ready to just make a completely life change because the economy here is just like at an all-time low for them. And there's like jobs are hard right now, depression is high. So if they connect with you, you can obviously get them into a rental for now as your work process, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing, like we don't sell, we educate. That's our motto. And we use it all the time. Our focus is to provide as much information as possible. So then you can understand what you're getting into. And then we grow with you, meaning that today you buy a $200,000 property, tomorrow you buy $2 million property. We want to be with you through the whole process. So what we do is provide as much information as possible. And I become my own guinea pig because I do certain projects myself first, and then I start sharing it with our clients. So it's not just me selling you stuff. It's us working together for a common goal, which is for everybody to come out on top. So we analyze properties, we underwrite them, meaning we study the markets, we look at feasibility studies, we go in more of a in-depth type of scenario than just, hey, here's a house, go buy it because it's cheap. Let's look at the numbers and let's get the right returns for you.
Strategize, properly strategize.
Right, we strategize. And then we look at exit strategies. Let's say that in 3, 4, 5 years you want to sell it, then we're able to sell it. And what if that particular model is not working? Can we use a different model? Let's say if the pad split for some reason gets saturated, can we just rent it out annually? Can you still cover your expenses? And these are things that we look at. So we hold your hand through the whole process. It's exciting. It's been working really well. Canadians fly in. What we do is a Zoom. Essentially, we do a discovery Zoom. Discuss it with the client, send them information, and then once they're ready, we prepare them, get them ready, they fly in. And to be honest, within a day, we already have a house under contract. And that's because we've done all the steps before they even arrive to the US or arrive to Florida. So when they come, they're ready.
Nice.
So there's no surprises.
I know you wanted to share your screen and give us some numbers. Look like if some of the clients.
So this is not a pad split model yet because we're just putting some stuff together. I just wanted to share even share an Airbnb situation because it's still been our number one seller. So the reason I picked this particular property is actually my community. I become one of directors on the board here as well. So this property is in Wyndham Palms community. It's 12 minutes from Disney. So basically the reason a lot of people like to rent here because it's so close to the parks. And it is also a resort community, so people feel safe, they can enjoy the amenities and so forth. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo. So we could take a look at it here.
Nice. Yeah.
Very clean. So you are buying the property turnkey, so you're already buying it pretty much in its current state with the furniture.
Oh, nice.
The ask price is $275, and yes, you can get a mortgage on it, so that's not an issue. And no, you don't have to pay cash.
I know a lot of Canadians, they worry about
super cute, right? So they did it in a Disney theme, and again, these properties are an extension of the park. So when people are looking at this, it's yes, they look at pricing, yes, they look at location, but there's a little bit of emotion associated with it, especially if you have kids. And one thing what I love about Orlando especially is that it's family oriented.
Yes.
So, and most of the time people are not sitting in your condo, they're out at the parks. So they'll leave in the morning, they'll go out and they'll do their stuff and they'll come back in the evenings and then they'll take a day or two or whatever and they'll enjoy the amenities of the community. So, I mean, this is the community. You've got basketball courts, there's tennis courts, there's volleyball courts, there's saltwater heated pool, there's a clubhouse, there's a little gym. It's really everything that you need to enjoy your time here. And obviously you have the weather, which helps a lot. And this particular unit, for example, the ask price is $275,000 and it's a 1,400 square foot unit. So when you do the math, it's $196 a square foot. In Toronto, you're paying $1,000 a square foot. I mean, if you're doing square foot, again, I tend to be a little analytical, so I'm always dissecting everything when I analyze properties. Also, in this property, so we use a calculator called B&B calculator. There's also Air DNA. It's also connected to it. What it does is it pulls 10 million listings scraped daily from Vrbo and Airbnb. So it gives you numbers that they're pulling. So I'm not manipulating these numbers. These are factual numbers that this property could be producing.
Yeah.
So 71% occupancy rate, $143 is the average nightly stay or daily rate. If you look here, start pulling some other properties in the community. Excuse me. There's some properties making $53,000, $52,000. There's one here making $58,000. So again, it all comes down of how it looks and who's managing it. Managing is a huge thing. And we teach our clients to do their own bookings, but we can also provide the management if needed, especially, they're not here.
Yeah.
So let's say revenue, let's do monthly. Let's break it down, make it simple.
Mhm.
Revenue is about $3,000 a month, okay? Operating expenses, and we'll give you the breakdown. So internet in this community is included. So internet and TV you don't pay for. Water you don't pay for. Garbage removal you don't pay for. Electricity actually should have been on here. That should have been on here. Let's just say $100.
Hmm.
Okay. Then we got the maintenance. I put $595. That's your monthly fee. But again, it includes your internet, your cable, your pest control, your garbage removal. So a lot of things that you would have to pay out of pocket are
Oh, like
included.
your cleaner fees to get your, to
It's
get.
like your condo fee, yeah. So, but that's all included. And you don't have to pay for internet. You don't have to pay for cable. You're not, it's very low maintenance because you're not landscaping anything. It's
Right.
all taken care of through the community, and they're constantly doing stuff here.
So can you add in, like, just for, people with Airbnb, is there a place for the, when like the guests check out and then they check back in, you have a cleaner go and clean your unit for you?
Yeah,
Say-
so you don't, but here's the thing is you don't pay for it, so we don't put it into the financial report
Oh, okay.
because it's not an expense from your pocket. So when somebody comes in and checks in your Airbnb, they're paying for that cleaning fee.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
I don't add it because it's not an expense that you personally occur because you're not the ones,
Right.
paying for it.
Right.
We did a mortgage here. I'm gonna change it a little bit. Generally, our clients are putting about 30 to 35% down.
Okay.
Because what they're doing is they're putting into a corporation.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
what alleviates liability, helps for taxes. Also, we can teach you how eventually if you decide to sell it, you can roll it into another property, so you can avoid capital gains.
I love that. I love that product.
Yeah, and that's something that most Canadians don't know because it's not really geared to foreign nationals, but the way we set up these corps, the accountant does, I don't set it up, but the way it's set up is to protect your interests. Again, that's something you would speak to the accountant. I'm not an accountant,
Yeah.
So let's say you bought this property for 272.2. That's the Zillow's estimate. You put 35% down, you're putting or $95,000. If you have a small loan amount of 176, let's say your interest rate is going to be probably about, let's say 7%, just using that. Property tax sounds about right. So let's save that. And again, guys, we will analyze properties of interest, and it doesn't have to be this specific property. If there's even on the pad split model or the Section 8 or whatever we're working on, we will dissect it and we'll give true numbers because we want to know what the expenses are, the hard expenses, meaning that they're, expenses that you have, are reoccurring, and then stuff that may come up. And then what we try to do is look for properties or anything that, all the big fixes are done, roofs, air conditioning, HVAC, stuff that you would have to pay a lot of money to do. So anyways, look, we're going to speed this up, but your mortgage is roughly about $1,400 a month. Your operating expense is about $900. So you remember your revenue is about $3,000, almost $3,100. So you're cash flowing about $791 dollars per month back into your pocket. So if it was a cash on cash type of scenario, you're making about 8.48% cash on cash return. I mean, I don't want to start getting technical, but it just gives you we can go into more of a deeper, appreciation and cap rates and ROIs and stuff, but we can do that obviously at a different time.
Yeah, like on the webinar. So for those of you listening right now, Michael is going to be having a webinar month end, and I will definitely, post that. So if you are interested to further dive into what Orlando has to offer in these pad splits rather, stay tuned on.
So again, we could discuss different options. You can reach out Michael at Suncasa, SUNCASA group.com or Michael at suncasarealty.com.
I love it. I'm going to definitely drop everything in the description. What is your Instagram handle? Where can they find you?
It's sun.casa.group or Suncasa Realty or Suncasa Realty IG. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So I'm going to throw a curveball at you. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this, but I want to know. You can stop sharing your screen now so we can fully see you.
Ask away, please.
Yeah.
I did push-ups. I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Good. So if you had any type of superpower, what would it be and why? I know we're in the whole real estate business, and we help clients every day. I know some days are really hard, some days are a smooth ride, but ultimately it's a heavy load that we bear in our industry. So if you had any kind of superpower,
I think a larger reach to help people better their lives. And I'm not just talking about real estate. I'm just saying it in general. If I can change somebody's life just a little bit in the positive, then I think that's a superpower.
I love that.
Because you just reposition how their mindset is, and you got them to think of things that they haven't even thought of, or it never came to to them, and yet you're able to help them better themselves. So anyway, just make people feel good, because they don't remember what we say, but they remember how we made them feel.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much for coming on the show. If you got value out of this show, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this with somebody, because you can help somebody, one of your friends, one of your family members, one of your associates might be wanting to move out to Orlando or just get information on Orlando. Michael, boss is your...
We're not just doing Orlando, Falesha, we're doing Florida. So just to want to clarify.
All of Florida.
Yeah, our office is in Orlando because that's where our main office, but we do different, it depends on the strategy that we're working with our clients.
I love that. So stay tuned, folks, for Michael's webinar. He will dive in deeper and we can go a little bit further. But for now, have yourself a powerful day, and thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Falesha. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.